3 weeks ago, I created a video about the Binding of Isaac lore, feeling like I put a solid opinion out there, explaining to everybody interested of what I and other people saw in the Binding of Isaac story. I felt smart. I felt strong. I felt like those people who correct your spelling in an online argument instead of providing an actual point. 3 weeks later, repentance arrives. And with that comes a brand new ending, changing everything I had once thought of. I was getting lots of new comments talking about this new ending. Isaac isn't dead. Happy ending? A story wrote by Isaac himself. You sound like King Julian? All these comments had me questioning my life. What did Edmund turn this horrifying nightmare of pain into? And how has he managed to make a fool of me? Well, let me tell you all about it. Well, I was wrong. Very, very, very wrong. With the new DLC being right around the corner, I thought it was a good idea to inform those who were unsure of the Isaac lore about what happens. So in that video, I said, say this, but there is no happy ending in The Binding of Isaac. And well, ladies and gentlemen, I stand incorrect! Which is great. So, repentance has arrived. And beforehand I had the idea of Isaac passing away, or being trapped in that little chest. But Edmund himself has turned that theory on its head and slapped it around like a baby playing with a toy. Instead of leaving us gamers depressed, he blessed us with a heroic ending for our boy Isaac. So allow me to get into it. Majority of the story is still true. And by the way, this is totally my perspective. I feel like this ending tells us that the other endings was just one big nightmare for Isaac he had due to his constant feelings of fear and guilt towards his parents arguing. What Isaac was going through at such a young age was something I don't think anybody should go through, never mind a child. He felt responsible for his parents divorcing, and was tearing his emotional stability apart. So what did he do? He created a story where he was running away from all of this in his imaginary land full of monsters and was being punished for his guilt. We finally see the true reason behind his parents arguing. His father having a clear gambling addiction, so they would argue over and over with him using their savings and wasting away all their money, as well as negatively influencing Isaac playing tabletop games with him, thinking he would turn just like his father. Due to this, his mother appeared as a monster to him, a psycho-religious woman who would save everything with the prayers to God, instead of saving her son. Eventually, Isaac's father left the family, even though he was begged to stay, which only put more on poor Isaac. He saw himself as a demon, like his very own boogeyman. He would be kept up at night, in pain, head full of horrible thoughts due to his parents' disagreements. Horrible, isn't it? But do not be deceived! For after all this, we realized that it was all just a horrible story Isaac wrote in his own time, like a nightmare journal for himself. We see that the parents may have settled a custody case, and after reading the story Isaac wrote, his mother and father realized the trauma they were unknowingly supplying to their son, and agreed to reconcile and fix their differences. Then, being bound back together again by their shared love for their son, Isaac, hence the Binding of Isaac. There is so goddamn much to take from this story. Like the part of the story where he single-handedly stops the 4 horsemen and beats the living shit out of Big Horn and ascends like a beautiful ass angel. My God, it's beautiful. After murdering his butt cheeks, we see his negative feelings leaving his body. Seeing Guppy once again, alive, his parents loving each other, and even the comfort of God watching over him, feeling safe. He saw a happy life. Then we get hit with a big boom, where the narrator all along is revealed to be Isaac's father. I couldn't believe my eyes. It felt like one big fever dream to me, and I was happier than I'd ever been. This game has brought nothing but depression and pain. Especially pain. But this time it was different. It brought me joy. Happiness to see Isaac smiling. Hearing his squeaky kid voice talk to his father made my heart swell. Now don't get me wrong. They should 100% bring him to a therapist. Like, my God, if I had a kid writing stories like that, it's a big red flag. Like, I don't know what the hell they planning. But I love this ending. They managed to do the whole, it was all a dream, ending in a way that we can still feel like the emotions we invested into this story was worth it. I didn't want my boy Isaac to be left in the dirt, and Edmund must have heard my prayers. I also love the idea of every time I reset a shitty run, it's Isaac saying how trash the story was and throwing it into the bin. I just want to take the time to thank this damn game for the journey it's brought to not only me, but a lot of players. From 2011 to 2021, a beautiful journey ends for our boy Isaac. He's went through literal shit and came out as strong as ever. Yes, the family problems are still real, but knowing that he is still alive puts a sort of relief on my mind. We fought as him, we fought for him, and we will always remember him and the effort Edmund and Florian and all the people who worked on this game put into it. You have impacted all of us. Also, I hate you, your game is too fucking hard! To settle things finally, this isn't the binding of Isaac. It's the binding of his parents for his sake. And it's Isaac who repents for his sins against the evil he faces. It's his story, yet his parents at the same time. It's beautifully done, that's all I know. To think this all began with a simple line of Isaac and his mother lived in a small house, and ended up turning into Isaac and his parents lived in a small house. I love it. We have come a long way, and I definitely shed some tears along it. As well as the team behind Isaac, I want to take this moment to be cheesy and thank you guys. The growth my channel has gotten recently has blown me away. We've managed to get 500 subscribers, and honestly, I didn't think I would get here. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Let me know what you thought of this ending, and if you agree or disagree with my point of view. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you whenever.